It's September 18th. Welcome here. We're talking about the Franklin Mountain State Park and Frontera Land Alliance. And we're live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, and also streaming live on Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show, and streaming live on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When. So this is the place where we say Texas history begins in El Paso. Melissa, good morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's beautiful outside. Folks can also listen to us streaming live on the internet via ktsmradio.com, where you will be connected automatically to the iHeartRadio, where you can listen to the show anywhere there's internet service.
Now, you have a very popular thing you do at the top of every second hour. Do you have one of those history moments today?
Yes, I do, and it's a short history on the Wiler Tramway, which
cool.
hopefully someday we'll see come back.
Well, you know, if anybody wins the lottery, buy the tramway up for us all, would you please? So
well,
anyway,
I think the state's working on it, but
they'd
takes a long time.
They'd take your money if you had it. Anyway, all right, we got our one guest is Texas Parks and Wildlife Ranger Lydia Pagel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Good morning.
here. Good morning, and welcome here. And you also are going to hear to tell us about the new visitor center and how the park is doing these days. And you and I will, and Melissa, if you wish, will dabble in the history of how it became a state park. So
absolutely.
And the thing about the state park, talk to it in terms of how you would greet a new visitor. Where did they walk into? What are they doing? What are they seeing in the park itself?
Yeah, so Franklin Mountain State Park is a really unique state park. It is the largest urban wilderness in the entire United States. So what that means is it's a wilderness area that is completely surrounded on three sides by city. You can't find that anywhere else in the United States at the scale that we're at. The next closest thing would be like Central Park in New York. And we're, I think, something like 27 times larger than Central Park.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's really cool because we have this amazing wilderness area that's really accessible from anywhere in El Paso. We have a lot of different access points, the Tom Mays Visitor Center being one of them. And people can come. We're primarily hiking and biking trails. We have about 150 miles of hiking and biking trails for people to explore. We also have picnic sites, overnight camping sites. So there's a lot of fun stuff, but you definitely have to come prepared for whatever you're going to do. That is one thing that I always try to talk to new visitors about is, make sure that you have enough water when you go out there. It's pretty hot, especially in the summer, so we do occasionally have some issues with some dehydration cases. We have to go out there and rescue some folks. And of course, we never want that to be our next visitor to have to be a rescue case. So always, make sure you've got enough water and know your limits. Sometimes our terrain is really rough, and mixed with the heat and the dryness. Sometimes people get in a little bit deeper than they thought they got. And so recognizing that and turning around while you still have the chance to do so on your own is really important.
Yeah, take more than just a small little bottle of water, which I've seen people do. I've been up at events in the past over there, and they end up passing out because I don't have enough water.
Well, do you ever stash water up on the mountain for some crazy person? There is a spring up there. That works all the time, right?
A spring in the desert means it's about a 5-foot puddle on a good day.
Oh.
So not exactly something you're filling your water bottle from. We don't have any water stashes. There were some at some point, but actually we had people, we were having some trouble because people were counting on the water stashes. And so they would intentionally not bring all the water they needed for their hike, and then fill up halfway. And then if you got there and there was no water left, you were out of luck. We had various problems with those water stashes.
And you had to lug the water back up there. Okay, I got it. So the thing about the Franklin Mountain State Park, it has the new visitor center.
Yeah.
And from Trans Mountain Road, it looks so small up there. But Andrew, let's go through the pictures out here. We have the opening sign, basically, which is out on the highway. Most people can see it.
Yep.
Now, the question about that is there still a turnoff capacity? I mean, it's an orange barrel nightmare at that point right there.
Yes. So construction on Trans Mountain has been changing the different ways that you can enter the Tom Mays unit regularly for the past year. Currently, you can enter it at the normal kind of pre-construction turning lane from the west side. So if you're going eastbound, the old turning lane is still there. However, because of the road resurfacing, the lane lines have kind of disappeared. So you have to be careful and look for it out there as you're approaching it. I always tell people, don't be in a hurry. Don't be speeding along and then try to turn off real quick. Just take your time as you're going up there. Look for that spot where it widens on the left-hand side.
Oh, you have to go to the top and turn around.
Well, that would be the other option.
Yeah.
If you do miss it, you can find some turnaround spots higher up, but there is the normal turn lane.
Melissa, I think I saw some memo recently where they're about to complete, TxDOT is about to complete that. Did either of you seen?
Sorry.
I have not seen that memo.
We want to be like Austin. We just want to be continually building and rebuilding things. Try driving around Austin.
Should we each have our own orange barrel with a name on it? Maybe we should do that.
There you go.
Anyway, the thing about the Franklin Mountain State Park, let's take a little tour here. We've got that first picture of the entrance, and it looks like a little tiny building way up there. Then take a look at the next picture when you get up to it. That is a substantial building as you get closer, and then you get what we see here. Watch this monitor here. That's a substantial building. That's only one or two buildings.
That's correct, yeah.
And the other one is the
interpretive building.
I think we have that as a picture 4,
Mm-hmm.
and it's adjacent to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that picture 4 is what goes on in there?
So that is my building.
I see.
I'm the park interpreter. So my office is in there, and I have a little bit of storage, but it's also kind of an open educational space as well.
Oh, okay.
Because we've been limited as to what sort of programs we can offer this last year. I haven't been using it too much, but I'm really looking forward to being able to use it in the future. I would love to have like school groups come out there and have that indoor space. We've always done like field trips and stuff like that. But if something happened and the school group got out there and it started to rain or something, we didn't really have a rain plan. So this is kind of going to be that extra space for that sort of thing. But it'll also be this indoor-outdoor education space because it's very transitional. There's this outdoor portion of it that transitions into the indoor portion and then to the trails and everything else.
You've done festival or events over the years. Of course, that last year was kind of a screwy year.
Yeah.
But you've had the different groups, like Keystone Heritage Park has been out there, the people from the Poppy groups, other, rescue groups and such. Are you going to be doing things like that again at this center?
So excellent question. The next weekend is the Chihuahuan Desert Fiesta.
Oh, my gosh.
So that is starting up. Last year it did have to be virtual. But this year it's a little bit different this year than it's ever been before. This is the first time we've done a 2-day event instead of a 1-day event for the Fiesta.
When is it?
It is next Saturday and Sunday. So that's, I think, the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry, 25th and 26th.
Yeah.
Never trust me on numbers.
Well, yeah, until you look at your phone. But no, I tell you, it's an interesting thing. We're talking with Lydia Pagel at the Franklin Mountain State Park. Now let's take a look at the visitor center now itself. We have a number of pictures where you go in. Number 5 is a close-up of the center more closely. And once you get up on that building, I mean, that's a 2-story tower. That's a substantial piece of real estate. And from the distance of down a Trans Mountain Road, it looks like a tiny little thing. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time I went up about 10 days ago and met you up there. And it's a fascinating building. Then you go to the entrance is kind of like, well, who designed this? I mean, did you see this, Melissa, the entrance? It's kind of like King Tut's tomb going on up there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's my favorite part of the construction, though, because when there's just even a little bit of breeze, just the design of it, that's called the breezeway for a reason.
Or
you
what
get
they
this
call
nice
a dog run.
breeze going through there, and you can get cooled off real well, even when it's warm out in there.
And also, you have a water feature, shall we say, in the middle of the area on the other side. And what I found fascinating there is, bees are all over the place doing a lot of more bees now with more flowers up on the mountain. That thing was full of bees.
Yeah.
And they were minding their own business, but that's where they can get their water.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that bees absolutely need. And so whenever you have that standing water like that, they love it, especially those little rock kind of edges. Bees can't actually swim. So whenever they have a spot where they can kind of land on these low rocks and get water,
Melissa, it was interesting
without drowning.
The thing was just full of bees.
Oh, yeah. We've had the same thing at Keystone where we got certain areas by the pond that we have.
And you do it on purpose.
Yeah, well, it was designed that way. I mean, and the same thing for like hummingbirds and other small birds. they can't swim, so they need to have some kind of ledge or rock that they can get onto that can get in and out of the water
And
safely.
if you have a garden at home, you should figure out how to fill up. Nowadays, it'll dry in a day. A little bowl or something with some gravel up at one end, and your bees will be happy in your
The
house.
only thing we always want to caution people about is if you are going to have some sort of bird bath or like a bee drinking area, to make sure that you're washing it out regularly. And by regular, I mean probably every day. You want to completely wash it out because various different kinds of bacteria can grow when those sit in there, and you can actually end up killing some of your wildlife.
That would not be good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Rim shot. Okay, moving to the interior. I love this one. The diagram and diorama. It's a diorama.
Yeah.
That is a scale model of the entire Franklin Mountain. Is it the range or the park? Just the park.
It's the full range. So it actually does include a little bit of downtown, and it goes all the way up to New Mexico 404.
But the state park itself comes from up at 404, roughly.
Yep.
And it coming south down the mountain, it kind of stops at Ranger Peak.
Yeah, roughly.
Because in front of that, going toward downtown, is more private.
That's all private or public owned.
Private land or public park, yeah. All right, moving on into the next picture. I like this one, a close-up of the mountains diorama. And this one is, I sort of picked the South Mount Franklin, North Mount Franklin area. And I find that fascinating. So whoever made that took a lot of pain to make that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool. You can go looking for treasure on the mountain just standing in one place, see the whole 15 miles.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
And there's also some little pictures on the side. We've got a gold mine that you have down there in the next shot. And if you're just a radio head, that's fine. But we're doing this on Facebook. And after the show, you can go see what we're talking about. So somebody has what looks like a gold mine. That's not a gold mine.
How late do you open?
So right now, for the visitor center, the hours are from 8 to 4. The park gate, since we just finished our summer hours, are back to 8 to 5 every single day.
Okay, because I'm thinking of all the great sunsets, but it's not quite.
Although, if you did want to catch some of those sunset views, you can also rent a campsite for the night. You don't have to spend the night there, but you can spend the evening there, have your picnic site.
So you can go in and out.
Yep.
So, that's
so you can
cool.
go in and
I
out.
didn't realize that.
Or we will occasionally have special programs. So actually tonight I'm having a full moon hike.
Oh, cool.
So
what time is that?
It starts at 7:30.
Oh.
And so we'll start at 7:30. We'll hike the Upper Sunset Trail. It's about a total of 3 miles is what we're going to be hiking tonight.
Oh, that's neat. All right, another picture. You got a gift shop there. Got lots of stuff in your gift shop. That's an interesting little place to be. And I guess anything you want or need about the mountains is there.
Absolutely. And I'm really excited. We just got in a new set of stickers that we worked with a local designer to design.
What do they
some stickers.
What do you stick on what?
What you can use them. We've got 6-inch stickers and 3.5-inch stickers.
So for cars,
water
or
bottles,
or
cars. People put them on their computers, whatever.
Aha. Okay. And then the last shot there is sort of a wide shot of the two buildings, so you can see it situated, kind of looking more. This is probably more north. This view here. And it's a great parking lot there, and it's a lot of room, so you could take a whole lot of people up there and hang out.
Yeah.
Melissa, it just doesn't look very big from down on Trans Mountain Road.
The visitor
the
center?
whole thing doesn't look that big.
Well, yeah, but I think the fact that you have the diorama is wonderful because the simple fact that puts in perspective how dang big that mountain range is. Because when I used to work in Arizona, you had the mountains up in Flagstaff in that area. It's kind of the same thing. The town was built around those mountains, which was even larger group. But this park shows exactly how huge it is.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I always find it's really fun when visitors come in and they see the diorama and
Like,
the parents start pointing out and saying, "Oh, look, if you see this road down here, this house right here is where we live. This is where your grandma lived or your uncle or whoever."
Oh, that's cool.
And they start kind of relating different spots in the park to the house because some of the houses you can actually see on the diorama.
Oh, how
itself
neat.
as well.
That is really cool.
All right, got a lot going on. I need to take a break here. You're not up on Facebook at this
Yes,
point?
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm finally.
Are you?
My computer was, I guess it slept in this morning. Let's see. Linda Goggin is out there. Mark Flores. Good morning, Mark Flores. Monica Cervantes in Las Cruces. We have Margie Benton's listening in from all the way in northeast El Paso.
Where is Shirts?
She's on the other side of the mountain. And you have Dale at Shirts, Texas. Harry Kirk on the east side. Shirts is just northeast of San Antonio.
What? Oh, it's near Nail Pop, Texas. No, Andrew, don't say that.
Corn Pop.
Nail Pop, Texas.
I could go with something with that one. But
No.
and Barbara Given Bainey, our buddy over there, remember in El Paso Win, who we are also broadcasting live.
Hey, and there's always a guy in North Carolina, I understand.
Yeah.
Always listening over there.
Harry's most likely there.
Yeah, he is. And probably Angie up in Colorado. Anyway.
Oh, and Sean Goggin, he's at the gun show this morning. So he's saying hello from the gun. He's listening at the gun show.
Oh, my God. Why
He's got
not?
a booth there.
Good for him. All right, taking a break here. Do the phone number, because if you have a question about the Franklin Mountain State Park, this is the time to bring it up. And we will take calls on the air today if you feel like it. So you know the number.
Yes, I do. It's 915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
Streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor.
Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915.
You know, speaking of Melissa Sargent, there's another one out there lurking around named Bernie.
Yeah.
And Bernie is one of the people that's on TV in history, and he is on the page there on YouTube. We have youtube.com/El Paso History TV. And there are two playlists. There's about 120 videos, but there are two specific playlists. Bernie's in one of them, and we did 20 different ABC 7 news pieces that actually ran in the news with Bernie in his cowboy hat. We put him in a top hat once in a while.
Yeah, he gets that once in a while.
He loves that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's on there, but he's now archived on youtube.com, El Paso History TV, 20 pieces. And frankly, if you want to learn about El Paso history the easy way, each one of those is about 3 minutes, and you can wander around there and figure that out. The other playlist there is our documentaries, and those documentaries are also there, El Paso History TV, and check those out. And the one we're talking about today quite a bit, Legends of El Paso's Mountains, it's there, all for free, so check those out.
Yeah, speaking of mountains, celebration of our mountains tour is tomorrow, September 19th at 9 a.m. It will be on early train lines and stations, plus Pioneer Roads of El Paso. It's a car tour that'll be led by Prince McKenzie, and they're going to meet at the parking lot on Executive Center and Executive Center Boulevard and Rio Bravo. For more information, contact Jim Tolbert at 915-525-7364. And Concordia Heritage Association is having an unusual fundraiser raffle. You could win a special lock-in investigation at Concordia Cemetery. The winner will win a special nighttime investigation of the cemetery, all on their own with our people down there helping them out. And tickets may be purchased online via the PayPal on Concordia Heritage Association's Facebook page, or in person the day of the drawing, which will be Saturday, November 6th at the annual Dia de los Muertos Festival at Concordia Cemetery. If you'd like more information, call 915-497-1126.
Got a question for you.
What?
What are you raffling?
You were out of the room.
I know, but you get a free grave spot?
No, yeah, really. No, it's a private investigation. So you go around with the paranormal people in the cemetery all by yourself. So, I mean, not by yourself, with them.
You get
so,
the
yeah,
tour.
So you're there a special night.
I
yeah.
couldn't understand
It's not
that.
a
Okay.
tour. They're investigating the cemetery looking for spirits.
That's a good place to
Yeah,
look.
and it's a great
Funny thing
fundraiser.
about
Money
that.
goes to Concordia Heritage Association, which takes care of the cemeteries.
All right, I didn't quite understand all that, but now I get it better.
Stay in the room and you'll.
Interesting things going on here. All right, we're talking with Lydia Pagel about the Franklin Mountain State Park. This is about a 2-minute segment. We got to take another break. Give us some of your what is your favorite thing about the Franklin Mountain State Park?
My favorite thing. So when I grew up here in El Paso, we were talking about before the show a little bit, and I did not appreciate it. I did not appreciate it at all. I thought it was just a hot, dry, dead desert with nothing growing in it.
And a mountain.
In a mountain. And when I returned after college, I left for college. Actually went to Michigan for college.
You understand what cold is now, don't you?
Yes, I do know what cold is.
God.
That first year, I had some people very worriedly asking me if I'd ever seen snow before. But
You've seen pictures, I'm sure.
Oh, I told them, I made them laugh when I said we had about a 1/4 inch of snow every single year and we got a snow day for it. They thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But no, when I returned, I really got to know the mountain again and really appreciated just the amazing ways in which all sorts of different plants and animals actually do live out here and thrive. It's just not as showy as in some other places. You know, you don't have that vibrant green growth, but if you kind of start to look and see the really unique ways that the plants are able to survive and live without as much water as they do in other places, it's just fascinating. There's just so many small kind of hidden treasures out there that I just love to go out there and discover new things all the time.
Well, it is an interesting mountain. It really is. And the fact it kind of divides the city and or the city grew up around it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything El Paso, I think, has some relation to the mountain, even if you're way out.
Yeah.
I remember as a little kid, my mom driving around, I could always figure out kind of where I was. Oh, I see the mountain, which way we're going. Mm-hmm. I mean, if she dumped me off, I'd never get home. She never did that. Maybe she thought about it.
I'm sure she thought about it several times.
Shit.
I did with my kids, but they kept finding us. So.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, as a 5-year-old, I might not have made it. But anyway, the point is, the mountain has always been a locator, kind of about where you are. Interesting thing. After the break, you remind me to ask you about some other things on the mountain, crawly things that are up there. I got a couple of questions here.
Yeah.
All right, taking one more break here. You wanna sum up? You got some more people stirred up, Melissa.
Yes, we do. Bernie Sargent, as a matter of fact.
I know him.
In. We have Jamie Coppinger says, please repeat the dates on Dia de los Muertos. I'll get those to you later on. It's, November 6th. Let's see. We also have, oh my gosh, where is it? That's the people here from, first, Bert Lowe, first hiked Mount Franklin in 1984, and his last trip up was 2007. Take lots of water.
Oh, God.
There's somebody who knows. Jamie Coppinger, thank you for this great program. I never knew about the visitor center. Can't wait to go.
Oh, yeah.
And Schwartz, Dale Hansen again said Schwartz is northeast of Satex, which is San Antonio Air Force Base, or I guess Randolph
Texas.
Schurz, Texas, yes.
Got it.
He says north of Randolph Air Base. So I'm trying to read these. And, that's a new name, Karen Moloche. Diana Couch. Hello, Diana. She's the one's coming from Montana. Bert Lowe's in Phoenix. Gosh, got all kinds of people on here. So,
well, it's fun to see that. And also, we normally, the archive of the shows now are on Facebook. I do have a radio archive on my own webpage. It is way behind. I had a major explosion on that website. We'll get back to that. But you can go to ephistory.com to see who's coming up on the shows coming up in the future. All right, taking a break. Somebody's got to call us with a question at some point here. I think this would be a good time.
Busy listening.
Well, they are. 544 whatever.
544-5876 or 915-544 KTSM. I lost track of my number.
If you're a local business, you are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC7 News reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco Tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and... Shall I come out of standby mode and go for it?
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, there's a big thing going on next weekend at the 30th Annual Genealogy and History Conference in San Elizario. They're holding a big deal at Lorenzo G. Alarcon Elementary, Saturday, September 25, 9 a.m., Sunday, September 26, 11:30 a.m. And where you want to go down there is 12501 Socorro Road, San Elizario. But what they got is the annual conference. It's a series of lectures and presentations to advance the knowledge, research, and skills and historical resources in the pursuit of knowledge and appreciation of San Elizario ancestors. Let me paraphrase that for you. Go learn about San Elizario. There are fees to some of these lectures and events. The workshops will offer individual and family tools to discover or enhance their genealogy. They're big on that stuff. Through the researching family trees, how to secure and preserve oral histories, and learn and develop a deeper appreciation of the historical architecture of San Elizario, which actually, of course, is among the oldest. You got upper stuff on the Mission Trail that's older, but this is going to be Alarcon-Cafeteria. That's an interesting picture they got there. Lorenzo G. Alarcon Elementary. Here's what you do. Get a hold of Los Portales Museum at gmail.com. Phone number 915-851-1682. A very important day.
Yes. Pepe's Restaurants, where they serve authentic New Mexican-style cuisine, is located at 6761 Donovan Drive, and you can also call them at 877-2152 for takeout and catering, which I did last week. We had an emergency. We had a meeting at the Women's Club, and the cook who was going to cook, we normally cook the meals, had something that she couldn't be there. So it was like, I'm not going to cook. So so we called Pepe's, and they put together a great deal for us, and it was a wonderful meal. The women were very happy.
Good.
I was happy because I didn't have to cook. I just had to serve. So, let's see, before I forget, they're also the home of the one and only margarita, so call them for your catering needs. Looking for a company to manage your rental properties? Then you need to call Monterey Asset. Or you can go visit them at their website at m1ep.com, or the phone number, like I said, is 915-592-4549. Want to sell, buy, or rent a home? Then you need to call Patrick Tuttle, a top producing realtor at Legacy Real Estate Services. Give Patrick a call today at 915-588-1850. And another great show sponsor is State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson. He's like a good neighbor, but with a better phone number. 915-581-0000. Call Ralph for all your insurance needs today.
There's a good group of people there.
Yeah.
One more real quick. San Lazario Art Market is tomorrow, the 19th of September, 11 to 8. Los Pistoleros at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Tigua Dancers, live music. On this one, you go to info 851-0093. So San Eli's kind of hopping in different directions down there. Great place there. Okay, we've got Lydia Pagel here, ranger at the Franklin Mountain State Park. I wanted to ask you about animals on the mountain that people have seen. Maybe you have. I'm curious. There's a white goat that shows up. Talk about, and I'm not going to ask you about the padre and the mule at night. That's an apparition. People have seen that one too. But tell me about the goat.
Yeah, so we do get a lot of questions about the goat. For a while, we were getting people calling in real worried about this goat.
Yeah.
And some people are like, "You've got a bighorn sheep on the mountain."
You do?
Don't you? It's a domestic goat. It is not a bighorn sheep. Different species. So it is a domestic goat. We don't know exactly how it made its way out there. We're not sure if it was somebody's pet when it was little, and then they realized that little cute goats turn into large big goats.
Ornery goats.
Turn it loose.
And left it out to fend for itself, or if it made an escape from a local farm. I'm not quite sure how it made its way out there.
Any one of those, probably.
Any one of those, all of the above. And he made his way out there. It is a male. It's a billy goat, very alone in the world. And I am fine with him being out there as long as he stays single. And
oh, wait a minute. I don't want to go there. No, I'm sorry. But the thing is, people have seen him.
Yeah.
My wife saw him one day. She's look at that. I said, I can't. I'm driving.
Yeah.
But it was a white goat kind of thing. He's pretty big size.
Yep.
Now, that goat has got to fend for himself, obviously, but because there are mountain lions up there.
Yes. Yeah. In fact,
They would like to eat a goat.
A couple months ago, we got some game camera footage of a mountain lion up at Westcontwood Springs.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. I did not realize we were going to get that game camera footage when I set up
That's cool, though.
the camera. We had a couple deer kills up there, so we decided to put a camera on it to see what came that night.
My.
And I was expecting coyotes and all the rest, but when the mountain lion showed up, I definitely jumped up in my seat and screamed a little.
We've had lion attacks all the way down in the valley by the Rio Grande. We had some dogs killed a few years back. They were sighted at Keystone, but it was that very drought period, a really strong drought, and they usually are going to follow. They'll follow the wherever their food's going, which is the deer and everything else.
Yeah.
So they'll follow it down because the deers will go to the river.
Remember the one they found over there near St. Clement's Church?
Oh, that was somebody's pet. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's certain situations where people do try to keep them as pets. Very often, actually, more commonly in Mexico.
All right, I got a goat story for you. When I did that video, Legends of El Paso's Mountains, which, as we said, is free online on the internet to go look at, youtube.com/El Paso History TV. What I did was I interviewed the guy who was the first man up on South Mount Franklin as they began to put the tramway up. Mm-hmm. He climbed up there with a rope, and then they pulled up a cable, and then they did all that. And he and I went up there on that tramway back in the day. I could do that. We did it. He explained to me. I said, "What'd you find when you got up?" He says, "Tons of rattlesnakes and goats." He said there were goats living on top of South Mount Franklin.
So all of the land that is currently in the park used to be owned by various different private landowners. Several of them were ranchers. So we did once time have herds of goats out there.
Well, you see now the grasslands have kind of returned. You can see how goats could make it up there.
Yeah. So originally, that's an interesting point because if you kind of turn back the time back to when Europeans first came through this area, it was a desert grassland.
Yeah.
It was not what we have today, which is a desert shrubland. That it turned into a desert shrubland because of cattle grazing primarily, generally overgrazing on the land. But when the Spaniards first came through, we have records of Spaniards saying that the grass was growing up to the belly of a horse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was used to be what this area looked like. It was a grassland.
They had goat farms over on the Alabama Street area, right near that
Yeah.
Catholic church at Nashville.
The Chamizal area, all that too.
Well, no, maybe down in there, but I'm talking about right up near the A mountain. And they used to graze up on there all the time, and that was on purpose.
Yeah.
And there were goat ranchers right there, and that's what they would do. So are we guessing that these are some of those maybe that got loose up there?
It could be. I mean, it's been a while since we've had any like large goat ranch operations on the mountains.
But haven't we had bighorns up there, or like the ones near Big Bend? Because I know that Jan Summerall, who used to be a city council person, she actually had a couple that came up there, and they were not goats because I saw pictures of them. They were the bighorns, the
Really?
Okay.
wrapped.
Wow.
Yeah, that was years
I have
ago.
not heard that story. So I have looked into it a little bit to try to figure out whether bighorns were originally native to this region or not. And they probably were at some time. I'm not sure that we necessarily had a large population up on Franklin Mountains. I think there may have been more down like towards Waco Tanks in that area. But
Well, big white sands in that area up there.
I have been unsuccessful in finding any documentation about there being bighorn sheep on the mountain. And I think part of it was because of the ranchers. You know, they kind of drove off any kind of native
A lot of interesting stuff going on here. We're talking to Lydia Pagel, Texas Parks and Wildlife Ranger on the Franklin Mountain State Park. We began talking about the new visitor center, but we're going to take a shot at some of the history. What do you got?
Well, you're talking about animals and things on the mountains. Jim Lochbeck, who used to work as an engineer for KSET and KFOX, he talked about all the animals. He said they find rattlesnakes in the air filters up there on the towers. He had a run in with a ringtail cat while working as an engineer at KTSM TV. So the animal found a transmitter that was used as a backup where it would made its home. And he says
we actually struggle with our squirrels. So they like to chew our wiring.
Yeah,
oh my God!
They're
All right, we got to take one more break. Come back, and we'll sort of like take a look at some of the history of the Franklin Mountain State Park. And Facebook is where you can find us. A lot of people commenting. What's that Facebook page?
It's the El Paso History Radio Show Facebook page. That's where you can find us. You can also watch us live on the same page, too. So you can comment, do all those things.
Hi, guys. See you in a minute. Back in a moment.
Many retired.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco Tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for
A quick shout out to Rick Kern. He's got a music podcast called Talk and Rock Radio, history of interesting music history in El Paso. Next episode is going to be starting in 1972 after Rick Kern's band, The Basic Sound. They finished their 3 years as the household band at the Knights Club at Roadway Inn in Bassett, and they turned into West Wind. Check that out, talkandrockradio.com.
Go to Mission Del Rey to shop online or visit their new 12,000 square foot showroom at 1421 Lee Trevino Drive, Suite A7, and they're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can shop their Native American artifacts, Mexican Talavera, and thousands of Southwestern and Western decor items. Also, you can give them a call at 915-440-2140.
All right, Lydia Pagel, Ranger State Park in Franklin Mountains. Let's talk briefly about the history. What do you tell people is the history of the park?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. We're a pretty young state park. We were formed in 1979. And the way that happened is in the 70s, most of the land that is the state park today was privately owned. We were talking a little bit about it being owned by ranchers, but also some folks who are doing some mining stuff as well as developers. And one particular developer who's most well known is Dick Knapp. He owned a strip of land out there, and he actually decided to build a road going from the base of where Tom Mays is today, going up to Mundy's Gap and up to the highest peak in El Paso, which is North Franklin Peak, and he actually flattened out the top.
And it used to be how tall?
It used to be 7,200 feet.
And it is now 71, 90,
something.
92.
I still round up.
No, he took off 8. He took off 8 feet with his bulldozer.
Yeah, with a bulldozer. And so folks went up there and saw that for the first time. And that was really the first time when it kind of hit people that this mountain, which is so iconic for El Paso, the city, is actually privately owned and could be bulldozed.
Yeah.
At will, basically.
Well, he actually planned to put a Coronado type development over at the 10 mines.
Yeah, so I've heard various different plans of exactly what he was planning to do. I've heard various different things about residential areas, tennis club, a resort, a lake. Yeah. I don't know. There's different ones that I've heard.
How did it resolve?
Not quite sure what.
How did it resolve?
So the people who saw that, they really banded together and said, we want to protect the mountains. And they formed the Franklin Mountains Wilderness Coalition, which is a group that's still operational today. It was with various different people representing the Sierra Club and various different environmental organizations here in El Paso. And they came together and petitioned the local and state government.
15,000 signatures to City Hall. Mm-hmm. That got their attention.
Yeah. And so they were finally successful in 1979 when they got the Texas legislature to pass a bill that created Franklin Mountain State Park.
The city condemned the land. They annexed it, made it part of the city, condemned the land, kicked him off of it. He sued them. He had bought it for $400,000 in cash in bankruptcy. They gave him thousands of acres at Horizon City.
Yeah, there was a land trade-off
Oh,
there.
my God.
There's a lot of different back and forth and they actually changed the city limits, like you said,
Yes.
to be able to have city ordinances in that area to prevent the bulldozing that was going on. So
Oh,
there's
my
a lot
goodness.
of steps in that process that finally got it to where it is today.
It's a bizarre history because the way that all went was kind of contentious the whole time.
Yeah.
And Dick Knapp had the controlling hand in the entire card game.
Yeah.
He ended up I actually interviewed him about this
really?
himself way back in the Leon days. And he was explaining how he pulled it off. He ended up with that lake out there and all kinds of stuff. And he was happy. He was a developer.
Yeah.
But he was going to put communications towers on top of that mountain to probably hit as far north as Ruidoso, maybe not quite, but certainly Alamogordo. That's the crazy history. All right, Lydia
Yeah.
Pagel, thank you for coming in from the
Yes,
Franklin
thank
Mountain State
you.
Park. Next hour, we are going to do Frontera Land Alliance
Right.
and talk about the projects they've got going on that we didn't get
Which
to
is
this
all
summer.
connected to the mountains
Oh,
in the area.
it's all land history. And you love land history. You got the Keystone Park under your belt. What
yeah,
a
we've
gr-
been working that one since
That's
before
fabulous.
before in days, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time. But I think it's cool. I want to get there and I want to visit the center and see
Yeah.
you and you learn more.
Come on out.
It's a fabulous place. Take a look at that little diorama. Huge diorama. La Musica has arrived, and we're going to say goodbye, Lydia, but thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And you have, real quick, you
Yes.
have something tonight?
Yep, we've got a full moon hike tonight at 7:30, and we have a 10 mine hike. So if you're interested in learning a little bit of some older history than I
Quick,
just
phone
talked
number,
about,
phone number.
915-444-9100.
We're out of here for this hour. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
See you
Take
next
care.
hour.
Bye-bye. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC7 News reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco Tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, And you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
And we start hour 2 of the El Paso History Radio Show with an El Paso History Moment produced by Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance page. And for us, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Guess what? Her story today is about the Wiler aerial tramway.
2 countries, 3 states, and 1 magnificent mountain peak. The Wiler Tramway, built in 1959 by Carl O. Wiler and now owned by Texas Parks and Wildlife, was originally built atop the Franklin Mountains as a service tram for the transmitting antennas for KTSM radio. But Wiler soon realized the spectacular mile-high views from the top of Ranger Peak had to be shared with all, and in 1960, the tramway opened to the public. Exiting the modern gondola after a short 4-minute ride, visitors were treated to a view of 2 countries, 3 states, and more than 7,000 square miles, or as far as the eye can see. More history next week on El Paso History Moments. I'm Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance.
Hey, that was Bernie. Hello, testing.
Hello.
Turn this mic. There you go. That was Bernie playing the piano?
Yes, he was sitting there with his little tiny child's piano. He was playing it
he's
for me.
good at that.
He's
So you
good,
do
yes.
this for the Alliance?
Yeah, well, what we want people to do is if they want more great information about El Paso and the area's history, then they visit these 2 Facebook pages. There's many of them, but these are 2 of the ones that are the best, I think. The El Paso History Alliance, a group of historians who promote history and the culture of El Paso, is managed by Max Grossman and Mark Stone, and the premier Facebook page on El Paso history is Remember in El Paso When, with thousands of pictures, stories, and much more. Managed by Barbara Given-Bainey and her team of volunteer editors for the page.
And she has another name.
BGB.
So anyway, Barbara Given-Bainey, Chief Administrator. The other administrators are Margaret Smith, Rick Duncan, Bobby Hall. Bobby Hall is now doing wonders over there with stories. Moderators Ken Weiss, Craig Hayes, Rick Nachra, and Isaac Williams. All right. We now are doing the Frontera Land Alliance crowd. We missed an hour of yous guys back in the summer, so we ask yous guys to come back in. It's a different crowd. So let me introduce left to right here. We have Janae Fields. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're the executive director?
Yes.
Okay. And now you brought a board member here with you named Cactus Man.
Yes.
Mike
He's
Cactus.
prickly kind of guy.
Yeah, well, go there if you wish. Mike Cactus Man Gaglio, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jackson. Good to see you and Melissa both.
Now, you have a long name for a long history with that name. You got I worked for your granddad.
You did.
Kelp 13 back in the days when it was.
KELP.
Television.
Yeah, and my dad was a DJ when I was born.
Wow.
Runs in the family. What happened?
Yeah.
You went to plants.
I'm still here on the radio.
Well, yeah, you're talking right. But you turned into a Cactus Man, so we'll talk about that at some point.
I don't know where that came. I came from my mom's side.
Okay, Cactus Man. Oh, goodness.
There you go.
I was born on the mountain. I used to tell my mother, made her nervous, but I was at Southwestern. Enough of that. All right, let's talk some pictures here real quick because we got a few to talk about. We've got the Kasner Forever, and explain that briefly. What do you got there, Janae?
Kasner Forever is we are working to preserve Kasner Range, 7,081 acres, as a national monument. The effort has been going on for 51 years, since 1971. The community has been working to conserve this land.
No, now Frontera Land Alliance was formed actually for something on the west side, wasn't it?
It was originally for Kasner Range in 2004.
Okay.
And as that effort was going on, then on the west side, they also worked on Wrestler Canyon and Thunder Canyon.
Okay. Let's move on to the pictures here. We've got another Kasner photo there. And unless you know the terrain, it just kind of looks like another wonderful piece of the mountain area. But if you could see it, describe where we are there. That's off your. I think I ripped that off your website.
It's going to be off of 54, looking west at the Kasner Range. And Kasner Range covers from Hondo Pass north, past the Archaeology Museum, up to the North Hills neighborhood. and it goes up to the state park boundary.
If you're just joining us and wondering what we're talking about, pictures on the radio, yes, we are doing pictures on the radio. We now stream this program live on Facebook, and if you want to go see it later, you'll see all the pictures and all the archives there. Okay, we've got another one coming here on the Knapp property, Knapp. That's the same guy that used to own North Mount Franklin.
Correct.
But he owned little pieces around the edges, too.
Yes. The family has a lot of property around there, and this one is owned by the city of El Paso now. And the Frontera Land Alliance has a conservation easement on 355 acres of Knapp land, and it shares a border on the south side with Kastner Range.
All right, let the pictures go, Andrew. There's two more. Explain, what do you mean by an easement?
Conservation easement is when a willing landowner places restrictions on the surface of their land. And in this particular case, the landowners are the city, and they said that there would be no development on the property.
And that made the people down below that area quite happy.
Yes. They Mike can explain this better, but when you mess with that terrain, with the arroyos, the natural open areas, the wildlife habitat, it has an impact on those below as the water would flow down.
And we'll get to Lost Dog in a minute. Go ahead.
And you're working with different people that have properties and such that want to donate that section, to your group.
Yes,
they can still do that?
Yes, we talk with a lot of different landowners. It's a long process because it's a big decision to restrict how the land would be used in the future.
We'll get to the water thing in a second here, but throw out a phone number. People want to find you.
Frontera's phone number is 915-351-8352.
And that's the Frontera Land Alliance office.
Yes.
And you guys are working you got several employees. You're doing pretty good on grants, apparently.
We are. Grants and foundations and sponsors are our big funders to ensure that we can do this conservation work in the region.
All right, Mike, if they develop that, what would happen to the water up there?
Well, anytime you mess with the surface of land and you change the course of water flow across the landscape, there's consequences both upstream and downstream. And so if they were going to put a new neighborhood or something like that, they would have to. The city code enforces that water is forced to flow in certain ways and is controlled as it goes downstream onto new neighborhoods. But what's really important about the conservation of this particular site is just the view shed, for one, just the open space in the view shed, and then the fact that the water. This year we saw a lot of really good storms and stuff, and the photograph that's actually up right now is a little bit of erosion that can happen from storms like that. And that erosion ends up finding its way downstream onto the streets of the
like
neighborhoods. Yeah, onto the streets and the neighborhoods down below. And so by leaving the land as open space, we can actually prevent that erosion from happening.
I remember a new development on the west side a few years back. A really good rain hit them. I don't know if it's the 06 or since then. But all of a sudden, the water came down the street. Did you know about this one?
I remember that.
Right through the house, out the back door, and it took all the furniture and could have taken the house.
Yeah, water has this really creative way of finding its own path.
Gravity.
And it does it for free. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, remember the, what was it, the Blockbuster Blockbuster
Blockbuster,
got wiped
yes.
out, and
Right.
then the farther up they had that storage place, and it washed out the back of it.
You're talking about Silver Spring Avenue, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I actually met the lady whose. This is a really interesting little side story.
Sure.
I met the lady whose storage space, the one spot that she was renting, was the spot that got washed out. She was actually living in El Paso because she was a Hurricane Katrina survivor,
boy.
and
I remember that. Yeah.
and transplant from. So she got water's following her across the continent.
Well,
Welcome to El Paso. Never rains.
Just up from Mesa on that side of town, there is a dentist's office that's in a little sort of a strip mall, but it's all offices, and they are adjacent to what apparently at that point was an underground passage for a lot of that water, and they said their building was shaking.
Yeah.
The day of that storm, and you see the results. I mean, Melissa, you talk about the Blockbuster taking off.
Oh yeah,
and all the
it's
videos
incredible.
going down the hill.
Yeah, Taco Cabana, all that area over
toward
there. It was
Putnam
amazing.
School. I mean,
Yeah.
That was huge.
And this is exactly why land conservation is important, because land conservation is water conservation. And in our desert, our arroyos are 1/4 mile wide in some places because they carry tremendous volumes of water when we get these storms. And we like to call these 100-year storms and 500-year storms. What that actually means is that 100-year storms has a 1% chance of returning any given year. It has a 1 in 100 chance of returning in any given year.
2 years in a row.
You could get it 2 years in a row. Lately, what's happening with climate change and all these things, we're getting more and more severe storms. We're getting less rain spread throughout the rainy season, but when we do get it, it's dumping harder and more frequently and more intensely. So we're getting these storms, and our desert arroyos are designed to handle these. I mean, that's what they do. They carry the water from the mountain to the river, and they use places like Keystone as buffers and wetlands. And so it's the job of Frontera to work with people that recognize the value of these types of landscapes to conserve them.
Well, like Whistler Canyon, if you hadn't saved that, and that's directly off the Franklin Mountains heading toward Keystone.
Correct.
And had that not been conserved, what would happen?
Be homes live in it probably.
Yeah, no, but I mean, what would
I'm
happen
serious,
to the water?
Well, the water would find its way through there, and if developed and built correctly, it would be fine. Yeah. But there's always the chance when you put a house in the path of the water, you end up getting water coming through your front door and out your back door.
Also, take a look at the one on the west side, just up from UTEP on Robinson. That huge arroyo with the tennis courts down in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Nobody builds in there for a reason, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I heard from a friend of mine that frequents that neighborhood that the road to the tennis club was washed out pretty bad after I think in July when the storms went through.
I drove through it about 2 weeks ago, and there were huge bulldozer piles all over the side of that road where they took it out and they found the road again under all that. Yeah. But they don't build in there for a reason.
And that's never going to go away because you look at the mountains, Franklin Mountains wash completely away. It's all going to come down from those mountains one way or another. It loosens it up each time there's a storm.
And I actually have done some work in that arroyo, and we did some watershed measurements in there, and the amount of land that contributes to the watershed that goes through that little pipe that they're talking about is actually relatively small. Just goes to show, I think, the capacity of our mountains when we do get a gushing rain to really, well, they call it a gully washer for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
That's a reason. Well, you know where Val and Louie live? The canal that runs divides the streets over there. There's a concrete, which shouldn't be concrete, but it's a concrete
Where is
pathway. It's it's just up the street here off of Executive, and can't remember what the name of the street is that they're on right now. But there's a concreted rundown from it's a rundown, and it just got destroyed this last time. Streets were being washed out. It was flooding into people's houses. It was incredible.
Well, that stuff going down that Robinson Arroyo has to get through UTEP somehow.
Yeah, UTEP's actually engineered really interesting.
I want to hear that, yeah.
Yeah, there's huge, like as you go through the biology department around the engineering complex, there's these walkways that go over these big rock canyons and stuff. And
they fill up.
Yeah, they run with water pretty good. I think, I can't speak to how well it's designed and everything, but they did it like that for a reason because it flows a lot of water.
And those buildings still stand, so it must have worked kind of good.
I think they're doing all right, yeah. Yeah,
well,
and that's a bedrock. That whole thing is on bedrock. There's nowhere for that water to go except through. It can't sink in because UTEP is built on this igneous outcrop of andesite.
Watch out when you hit the table. Hear that?
Oh, well, I was trying to make a point about UTEP being built on solid ground.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's the storm drainage on Canterbury Street.
It's going to knock off the transmitter. That's the only problem.
Sorry about that.
Taking a break on the El Paso History Radio Show. You have found us. Today we're talking with this hour, the Frontera Land Alliance, and several projects you have. We talked about Kasner. You have other things to talk about, I'm guessing.
Oh, sure. We have a lot going on.
Excellent. That's Janae Fields. And Janae.
Janae.
What day is it? And Mike Gaglio, the current version. You're generational.
I'm fourth.
The fourth?
Yes, sir.
Are you really?
Cuatro.
One more acknowledgement real quick. Andrew J. Polk in the control room. He's a legacy child from somewhere, and he also has a talk show here on 690 Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Don't miss it. He'll take on anything and everything. We won't. I mean, say that again, Andrew. Oh, yeah, I knew he had, and Andrew got his wings. Enough of that. Okay, when we come back, you got some more Facebook
I have some
stuff to do.
that
Melissa
jumped
Sargent,
on.
the ever-present, wonderful person of Melissa is here.
Stop it.
And well, okay, you're not. Yeah, you are. I can see you. Anyway, shall we take a break?
Yes, we should.
Andrew, hit some
Come
button in
back.
there. Hit
Yeah,
some button
come
in
back,
there.
see it.
Monterey Asset. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC7 News reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano.
All right, next week coming in here, we've got the Tom Lee Month people. Explained by Adair Margot along with Javier Segovia. He's the collections manager at the Tom Lee Institute. They're going to describe their upcoming events in the whole month of October. It's a biggie. So, and October 2nd coming in here, we got Troy Ainsworth, and he's going to review some of the many Henry Trost designed buildings outside of El Paso. We've heard so much about what's in here. He's going to take a look at what happened elsewhere. October 16th, what is the history of Chinese people in El Paso? It's extensive, and if you don't know it, you could ask our guest, who's an historian named Ana Fahey. October 23rd, Ruben Escandon and Roberto Salas. We like to talk about the Mount Cristo Rey area and also the Smelter Town and Asarco and all that area. So it's a huge bit of our history. But also, he thinks they may have a possible pilgrimage this year to Mount Cristo Rey. So that's a week before the potential Mount Cristo Rey pilgrimage. That'll be kind of fun here. What do you got?
Well, Lincoln Park Day is tomorrow, Sunday, September 19th, in the park under the Spaghetti Bowl. If this, and I'm kind of confused with this one, it says if the city coronavirus restrictions are lifted. So it includes 11. Well, let me put it this way: it's at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're going to have music, mariachinas, lowrider car show, and more. But I would go to the LincolnParkCC.org page to find out, because I hadn't heard whether there were restrictions on large groups.
The county is doing something, and it made them nervous, so they said there would be possible.
So I would check the website.
Yeah, I did check. Otherwise, just go over there and party.
Yeah.
I mean, because have you ever been under the Spaghetti Bowl to party?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's neat down there.
That's a hoot. I mean,
it's all kind of torn up right now down there, but you can still enjoy the park.
To me, that's the soul of El Paso. That kind of Corazon crowd down there, and the Americans who were Mexicans in their family, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I'm a European American, but they don't call me that. But anyway, the crowd here in dominant El Paso is so much fun to play with. Great people. All right, quick story here, if you got one here on something about either Frontera or what you know going on, because you mentioned Keystone as another part of your world. Now, you don't really focus on Keystone as much maybe as his wife does and Melissa does.
Oh, he's in the background and he does a lot. So
Yeah, well, Frontera manages Wrestler Canyon, and Wrestler Canyon is the watershed that feeds into Keystone, and so we actually we work hand in hand together, not specifically on any real projects. We have done hikes. We have done hikes where we follow the path of water from the top of the canyon on down into Keystone.
Right. Oh, I know. You have a sign up there now on Mesa Street.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed your sign.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
beautiful.
isn't that
Fabulous.
nice?
Yeah, that's great.
Because people had no idea; they just think it's some ravine.
Right. So you can enter Wrestler Canyon off of that street right there, Alto Mesa, and there's a pathway in, and you go to the left, and it takes you down to the half-mile education trail, and we lead hikes out there. There's some water restoration projects that happened in there, and it's behind Whole Foods, and it goes down to I-10.
Do you actually own that?
Yes.
Okay. A guy who's an adult now in my age, which is old, but when he was a kid, he lived in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
There were Indian graves in the side of those hills.
Yes, there's a lot of historic components to Wrestler Canyon. The reason it's preserved is the neighborhood got behind it, and one resident decided to use their inheritance to purchase the land and donate it to Frontera. And it's Dr. Richard Teschner did that, and that is public information. It's on our website. But because,
hats off to him,
yes,
dude. Oh,
because of him, that land is there now for the whole community in perpetuity.
Who did he buy it from?
It was previously owned by Hunt Communities, and which are a good partner of Frontera as well.
Yeah, they do good work, but they develop things.
That's their job.
That's what they do.
That's why they make their money, so they can end up helping out some.
Well, they funded the things that Bernie and I did on ABC 7.
Exactly.
God bless them. Now, the thing about that whole area there, up there at Mesa, that canyon just didn't start right there.
No, they
developed it into Coronado.
Yes, and so when the water comes through, it's sent under all the streets, and it shoots out into Wrestler Canyon. And
So they did allow for that.
Yes, and they actually had to alter it a couple years ago. No,
There's some massive stormwater engineering that feeds into Wrestler Canyon. In fact, recently I did a watershed map for Keystone to look at what area of the mountains contributes water to Keystone, because that's one of the things when we give tours down there at Keystone and Wrestler Canyon. I like to draw people's attention to the mountain and tell them to look up in this section of the mountain. is where the water comes down and comes to where we're at. And so I mapped that, and it's interesting because of the golf course and some of the communities up there.
Coronado.
Yeah, they've altered the course of water and changed where water used to go and rerouted it into other watersheds. And so the watershed for Restful Canyon actually kind of starts off as a big chunk of the mountain and then sort of pinches out and channels down. And then a lot of it goes into this big giant pipe that comes underneath Alto Mesa and goes across underneath the ground, underneath Mesa Street, and shoots out of the ground like a cannon when it's really raining. I mean, it's something to see. Yeah, it's a water slide. You know, there's those new water slides going up. We've got water slides already.
Well, it's a water cannon. It'll pop you into Keystone.
Pop you out, right.
Well, real quick, we should take a break here, but let me ask you this. Explain what was going on before the Keystone Dam went in. It was flooding the neighborhood of Emory Road.
Well, so all of Doniphan. So if you look at Google Earth and you take a look at the aerial view, you've got the Sierra Juarez down in Juarez to the south.
The mountains.
Got the mountain range there. Those are the mountains that say La Biblia es la verdad.
Yeah,
right.
the Bible is the truth. Yeah.
Read it, yes. And that actually is on a really cool geologic feature. Is a big fold in the mountain. If you ever,
you better do what it says.
Yeah. So anyway, so you've got that mountain range to the south. You've got Mount Cristo Rey, and you've got the Franklin Mountains, and between all of that, you've got a river coming through. And if you look at that land prior to all of the development that ever went on there, the whole area was wetlands.
Yeah.
It's basically the pinch point of a funnel where all of this watershed would come down and get pinched down right underneath the Corchain Bridge at Cristo Rey. Yeah. And so that would back up and that would flood all the way up to Canutillo. You know, the stories of Fusselman chasing banditos down into Canutillo and them getting lost in the marsh and all that.
Well, he was on the other side of the mountain.
Right.
But he came over basically Trans Mountain Road.
Right. And so that whole area from Mount Cristo Rey all the way up to Canutillo and beyond was actually wetland marsh.
Yeah.
And so Keystone is kind of like the last little bit of remnant of that. Just like Rio Bosque is the last remnant of wetlands down in the Mission Valley.
Kind of recreated down there.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So and so that's kind of the same situation here. And Keystone Dam is there. Excuse me, I keep hitting the table. Keystone Dam is there because Doniphan floods, and there's all these, all these neighborhoods to the west of Doniphan and the railroad tracks there. And all of those neighborhoods would flood. My dad and grandma would tell me the stories about that.
Yeah, they're always getting washed out.
Always getting washed out and everything being wet down there and Doniphan always being underwater and the kids going up to the marsh to go drink beer and all that fun stuff.
Oh, I heard about it.
So then they built Keystone Dam as one of, they call it Keystone. It's my understanding that it's called Keystone because it is the natural point where all these.
He wants us to take a break. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Good question, Melissa.
Okay, no, I just want to say, you talk about flooding. They fixed Doniphan to be above ground where it used to be pretty low and it was a pretty rough road to drive on. They raised it up.
Yes.
Did all this storm work, and then in 2006, when we had the big rainstorm, we went underwater at Keystone. Almost the whole park was underwater.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost underwater again right now.
All right, let's come back. Remind me after the break to come back and explain why is the Keystone Dam not in a straight line. There's a very good reason. Melissa knows the answer. Maybe we'll ask you. Shall we do that? Phone number or not? Whatever.
915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
Here's the deal. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco Tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio. Melissa, are you ready? This week, go to El Paso Inc. and find the latest in El Paso business news.
Two of El Paso's most beloved musicians talk to El Paso Inc. about tour life, music, and more.
A local nonprofit is working to give women the skills needed to find good employment and start a new chapter.
The CEO of El Paso's Food Bank says it's losing manpower and funding and needs support and as demands grow to continue to surge.
El Paso's business journal, El Paso Inc., is available for home or business delivery.
To receive El Paso Inc., order it online at elpasoinc.com.
Sunday night on ABC 7 Extra, they're taking a deep dive into Hispanic Heritage Month. They look into the history of the month-long celebration and discuss El Paso's place on the national stage. One of their guests is ABC News correspondent John Quinones.
Host Mauricio Casillas also spoke to the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the city's first ever Latina museum director. To get more insight on the importance of El Paso's owning its history, be sure to tune in this Sunday at 10:35 p.m. for ABC 7 Extra.
El Paso needs to own its own history. I mean, our audience owns this history show. I mean,
that's true.
We're here because of the ratings.
Because of the audience.
And oh, my goodness, it's amazing here. And we will continue to do so, at least for next week and the next week. All right, we got the crowd in here from Frontera Land Alliance. We got off on Keystone, which is not a bad idea because if the Keystone people like Melissa and Bernie and the whole crowd that they, that's how I met Bernie. I saw him on TV. Mm-hmm. I went to one of the meetings over there at Gerardo's. Gerardo's. And I looked at this and said, okay, what do we got here? Are these people going to chain themselves to a bulldozer? I'm not going to participate. They said, no. We're going to get together, raise the money, and buy it. And the developer, I went to see him. He thought I was going to kill him. I said, no. This is not a negative thing. I'm going to make you a commercial when I do this video. It's going to sell your land. He didn't believe me. Guess what happened? And now he's a believer. He's also rich. But in the meet, I think, whatever, he's a nice guy. But the thing that happened is saving the Keystone Dam was a site was an interesting thing. The point is, I asked you earlier, the Keystone Dam, the Army Corps of Engineers likes to build in straight lines. That dam is not in a straight line. Melissa, you want to take that one?
Not in a straight line.
No, it's not. It takes what they call a dog leg. A lot of people know that reference in terms to golf, but when the dam goes around, it cuts up and goes back over. And what happened was after a washout from one of the storms, from the original arroyo that went through there, they found what they thought were some cracked rock and such, which is kind of amazing to think you found cracked rock.
It was a depth in the side of the hill.
Yeah, kind of, and they're finding bits and pieces around in the area, and they brought in an archaeologist, and they started looking at this, and went, they realized that they had several pit huts, or the base of what would have been a pit, or a wiki up, or whatever you
pit
want
house,
to think. Pit house, yeah. And because it's not like when you think of a lot of ruins where you could see actual leftover buildings and such, they dug down into the ground, and then they covered their homes with branches and leaves and
mud,
shrubbery, mud to cover it. So all they had left were the indentations and the cracked rock to tell it. But it was significant enough in the fact that it showed an actual living village that was there, that stayed there year round.
They carbon dated something in there.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how, all the details on that, but yeah, Bernie knows, and Mike knows probably better than I do on all that.
That deserves its own radio show.
Yes,
it
does,
does. I'd love to do that one because it's been a while. But that whole point was the Keystone Dam takes a jog because they went around the village. And that's why that place exists. Now, what you visit now is out front on Donovan. It's a fabulous botanical garden.
And it's a great place for you to see the actual way that people would have seen and been living in that area. They would have had the wetlands in that area. They would have had the flora and fauna. They ate from the trees and the bushes and the animals that lived there. So you're actually seeing how they experience life back.
The
in
real
those
pit
days.
Houses are not to be found. They're up on where
they're up above. Yeah, it's
up
hidden
above.
area.
Don't go there. You don't. People used to go picking stuff up. Do not do that. So,
put things down.
But the point about we're talking to the Frontera Land Alliance, and you guys are inherently involved in this kind of thing. Janae Field, you would have had to save that if they didn't already.
Right. We would have been there.
Okay.
Well, you were at that time.
Frontera was just getting formed.
Just getting started,
when the whole process about Keystone was developing. Okay. And actually, that's part of what got me involved was that I was doing some work for our friend that owned the land, actually, and found that there's this beautiful, wetland out there. I didn't know about it, and we hear that every day still. Nobody knows about this place. Yeah. It's a great...
located on Donovan. Where is it?
4200 Donovan, about half a mile up from Sunland Park Drive and about a mile down from Crossroads.
Go ahead, say it. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. It's a big
rock wall.
Big, long rock wall, and we're behind it. Actually, that rock wall has some new artwork on it as a result of some efforts from the Boy Scouts or the Eagle Scouts.
Yeah,
the Eagle Scout projects put together some nice signage up on the wall, and it's beautiful.
And that signage was created by some Coronado High School students.
Oh, great.
So, I mean, we've had so much community involvement, which is like going back to Frontera. Again, you have a lot of involvement with community groups. I mean, people in the community and such.
One last question on Keystone. Did you put that windmill up there? The wind-driven turbine thing?
That was put up by another group. It was a grant-funded project to do a little
what's it doing?
Solar electric. It's a geothermal and solar electricity demonstration.
Oh, you're not pumping water somewhere?
No, not that one.
No.
Okay, never mind. All right, Janae, you have outreach projects for Frontera Land Alliance. How are you getting to people?
We work with different schools. We work with lots of different nonprofits in the region. We've collaborated with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, with Insights, with Coronado High School, with St. Patrick's High School. We've been out in Horizon and in Socorro. So we're just everywhere, and we just try to connect and get everybody excited and enthusiastic about learning about their natural areas, whether they can make it to the mountain or in an arroyo or the river canals in their area. There's just wildlife and water everywhere.
When you talk about history, this is our original history. That's why we do this.
Right.
Well, on this show anyway. But the projects how are you doing in schools? How do you get into the school? Who do you call?
So we are at Career Days, and then we have other partners that
Okay.
have connections within the schools. And so Insights is the one that I mentioned that partners with the schools, and we're subgrantees of them. And then we create curriculum and then presentations. A lot of those videos are on our YouTube site.
I made a video with you guys on Casner
You
Range.
did.
Conserving Casner Range is still connected there?
That's what's going to be shown at the Chihuahuan Fiesta at the zoo on
very
September
good.
25th.
We also
Good
made
video.
a Spanish version, which was
Yes.
kind of neat with Felipe Solis. And the whole thing about educating people is we're doing the best we can as a videographer and filmmaker. I have done a bunch of that kind of stuff. I'm looking at TV's in the rearview mirror now. I just do radio, which is getting kind of extensive because again we're doing TV. But the point about here is that any kind of medium you can get a hold of, you will find people watching. And that's only that's a short video.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. So you can get through that pretty quick. But also next weekend you're up to something.
Yes, that's the Chihuahuan Desert Fiesta. And so
We mentioned that the first hour
Mm-hmm.
with the state park. What are you doing?
So this Saturday, they'll be at the El Paso Zoo, and lots of different nonprofits will be there with booths. Frontera will be there. We will be there representing our organization, and also Castor Range, asking people to support its preservation. And then on Sunday, they'll be at the state park with guided hikes.
Out in the Tom Mays section.
Yes.
Okay. At the zoo, when you have a booth there and you say support Casner Range, what happens?
They learn about the effort. They can ask all the questions they want. We ask them to sign on a letter.
That's the
That's the
thing.
important part.
That's
You
the
gotta
action-
sign the petition.
Your
Right.
action item is to get on that petition.
Yes.
And that's going to the White House or where?
It is. And what we're doing with that and why we need people to sign letters. So in 2016, we got 35,000 signatures and support. So we are continuing that effort. As I said before, it's a 50-year effort now. We have to show the people that make the decisions that this community wants this land protected. And there's a good reason we need it protected. Besides the historical and cultural and water, all that development's pushed up against it. And so we want to ensure that it stays there as is in perpetuity.
So Mike Gaglio, you're a board member.
Yes, sir.
Why did you join? What do you do?
Well, oh man, that's really.
Well, you have an interest in all this.
I do, yeah. I mean, I'm from El Paso. I grew up on the mountain on the north. I actually grew up a stone's throw away from the Napland conservation easement, and tromping around Casner Range is what we did as high school kids. You know, like we weren't supposed to do that.
Don't do that.
We weren't supposed to do that.
But you did it.
But we did it, and we had a lot of fun, and it's great. You know, it's great that there's an organization in town that is actively working in a constructive way to preserve land that people want preserved. We're not, our group, Frontera Land Alliance, does not go out and stand in front of bulldozers. We don't go chain ourselves to trees and all of that stuff. We have friends that do, and we really like the work that they do, and you know, but our group, it's kind of funny. Our group is really kind of a middle of the road compromise finder organization. We work with the people that want to save their land. These are individual or, you know, and government entities that own land that should be conserved. And so there's a group of people over here that wants this land conserved. There's a private landowner or a government agency that manages that land, and we bring them together to the table to do that. And that's what I really liked about the mission of Frontera is we're not specifically activists. We're not the bad guys. We're not the other side good guys. We're the ones that help them come together and bring everybody to the table.
You're the operatives. You get it done.
We
Fair
get
enough.
it done.
You need to take a break here. Come back in a minute. We'll wrap this up with the Frontera Land Alliance. And Andrew J. Polk, would you hit the button, please?
Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant and Cantina.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given-Baney. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas. A couple of brief announcements. You got the first one.
Yeah, well, you see those really wonderful houses up there in Sunset Heights, just above the freeway in downtown. This is your chance to go in and visit some of these houses and see what they look like on the inside. The Sunset Heights Tour of Homes is on October 2nd from noon to 4 p.m., and they're going to 6 homes, and the cost is $5 for each per person. And tickets are available now at Hal Marcus's Gallery, and I believe also at the Historical Society on
Burgess
Yandel.
House. Well, they're not open a lot, but they'll be open that day.
No, but they have that day. So, yeah, check it out. It's fun to go to.
Real quick, we always try to mention the McGoffin Home, the only state historic site that's a house museum. The other state historic site in El Paso County is Waco Tanks.
Waco Tanks.
Oh, it's a huge thing here. We're saying bye to the Land Alliance here, but before you go, how do people get involved? You need donations if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a 501c3.
Yeah, we're a nonprofit, tax deductible 501c3. You can give through our website, fronteralandalliance.org. There's a donation page. Our address is there if you wish to mail us something. You can stay involved and current with our activities by following us on Instagram and Facebook. And we would love to talk to you at 915-351-8352 to learn more. And you can always get involved through volunteering, trail maintenance, cleanups, helping us out at the farm that we partner with, collecting seeds.
Farm?
farm down in Socorro. It's
That's really
growing with Sarah Farm, and we
Oh.
get people's hands dirty. They learn how to garden. They can take those skills back to their house and grow wholesome food there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this is the operative group. I think that's the best thing. And when you describe the whole thing quite well, Mike Gaglio. But you're the operatives that make these kind of desires and dreams occur. And if a landowner has an interest, they contact you guys, right?
That's right.
And Mike Gaglio, you have a business of your own where you're a landscaper.
I'm a landscaper, but we also do landscape scale ecological restoration. So we actually work hand in hand with Frontera to do restoration work on the kinds of big lands that they do conservation on.
What's the company name? Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's called High Desert Native Plants, and we're on all the socials in our website too. High Desert Native Plants.
As for Cactus Man.
As for Cactus
Oh, good
Man.
God. And don't forget Ruby Ann. She does wonders, too. She's got her own business on the side. But what she does at Keystone.
She's called my
Yeah.
better half for
That's
a good
right.
reason.
And she's now the event coordinator for Keystone Heritage
right.
Park. So if you want to get married or you have a special event at the park, contact her via our Facebook page or call me at 584-0563.
Good. Give out your main number. No, maybe. No.
915-581-7920.
Also, how about a divorce? You'll take a divorce over there?
Nah.
Nah,
Oh, we have had divorce parties.
That's what I mean. You guys, I see Keystone is a great place. It's a great venue, and it's got this big stage and area there.
We
And
give
you-
tours out there. We'll talk your ears off about all the birds
But
and
also
the
you-
water and and Frontera.
But you've
and
got a
everything.
raised platform. You can see all that out
Yeah.
there.
Sunsets,
Oh, that's great
birds,
stuff.
mountains.
So, Frontera Land Alliance, once again, the phone number to get involved.
915-351-8352.
Janae Fields, thanks for coming in here. Mike Gaglio, good to see you again.
Thank you.
And Melissa, thank you for being, as you always are,
you
shining,
too. Well,
shining
we're all
and
here
bright.
together as a team, you know?
It works out because El Paso does not know its history. If you went to public schools, you didn't really get a chance to learn it. And every time I find somebody new, I say, "What do you know? Where do you go to high school?" And I'm not just placing people. I'm going to ask them, "What did you learn?" And generally, it's not much. And I've learned a lot. What I know sitting here, because I'm not an historian. I'm a journalist.
You have
and
some really interesting people on the show.
It's a lot of fun. And next week we're coming back. Adair Margaret will be here. We'll talk about the Tom Lee Institute and continue the tradition there. Thank you for joining
See you
us
next week.
Next week, Melissa. We're having fun. Andrew in the control room. Thank you very much for being there, Andrew G. Polk. See you then. Next week. Bye.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio